This first module will raise your awareness of some common disabilities that our students may experience. You'll briefly look at 5 categories of disabilities and the necessary steps that you must take to be sure all our students can access your materials and flourish in your course. While it's impossible to fully understand the user experience for someone dealing with one or more of these disabilities, it is important to continue to strive for seamless digital accessibility across all our platforms. This module will not provide the detailed steps on meeting any particular accessibility needs, but it gives you an overview of the topics as a whole. Future modules are dedicated to helping you meet the needs of students in each of these categories. Janice is a student who's taking a full load while working part-time. She uses public transportation to get to campus for her face-to-face classes and to use the library. In between classes, she takes advantage of the school's Wi-Fi to work on her online classes. Janice uses a screen reader to navigate the internet. If Janice was one of your students, could you be certain that she would be able to navigate your course and have complete access to your materials? Students with disabilities can work with the Office of Disability Resources to create a program specifically designed for them, which might involve assistive technology. One of the technologies available to visually impaired students is a screen reader. There are free screen readers available for both Mac and Windows machines. However, some materials, such as math equations, may require specialty screen readers. It's helpful to see a screen reader in use to get a better understanding of the process of preparing your materials to meet the accessibility needs of blind students. There is a document below under the optional tools for application that includes this information along with links to several useful examples. When preparing materials for a screen reader, here's some points to remember. Use proper markups, including headings, bulleted or numbered lists, and a logical flow. Tables must be properly set up with a heading row labeled. Text equivalent options need to be included for any visual materials. Alt text or descriptions must be included for any graphics. All of these things will be explained in more detail later in the course. All of these things will be explained in more detail in videos later in the toolkit. Josh is in the CAD program and doing very well. He's considered legally blind, but can still see if he magnifies what he's looking at. He uses a large computer monitor with a screen magnifier to increase the size of the view. While this does allow him to see his monitor, it only shows a small portion of the material at a time. What this means is that it's easy for him to miss things that are off to the far edges of the page. Low vision is not a single condition. Someone with low vision can see some degree. Someone with low vision can see to some degree, but may have blurred vision, areas of their view that are dark, the need to have things greatly magnified in order to see them, or various other visual problems. Under the optional tools for application below, there's a link to a disability simulator that's a plugin for Chrome. It will allow you to experience a little of what someone with these disabilities has to go through. Some points to remember for low vision. Consider the effects of screen magnification. Consider the effects of screen magnification on the placement of materials. Use effective color contrast to enhance visibility. Joe struggled in his online history class because he had a difficult time figuring out which topics were the most important to focus on. Eventually, after coming in to sit down with his instructor on campus, he realized that all of the important words and topics were highlighted in red. Since Joe is colorblind, all of these red words looked like just any other word, so he couldn't distinguish them. Once the instructor understood the issue, she found a new way to highlight important topics, and Joe is doing much better. Colorblindness is the inability to distinguish between certain colors, especially when they're of the same brightness. Some points to remember for this are: do not use color alone to demonstrate importance. If you use colors in a graph, provide written information also. Here's an example to consider. In this pie graph, the categories in the legend are distinguished by the color of the corresponding section in the graph. It's hard to see, but you can see down here category 1 has this color, category 2 is this color, 3 and 4. However, if you were colorblind, you may not be able to distinguish which category an individual piece belonged to. In the second example, the names of the categories are written directly on the colors, so that way, even if you couldn't see the colors, you would still know the percentage of what the category stood for. Sandy has become very adept at reading lips. In her face-to-face classes, she talks with her faculty to be sure that she can sit where she has a clear view of their face so that she can follow along. She's also very good at typing her notes on her laptop without needing to look away from the instructor. However, Sandy is now taking her first online course, and the instructor relies heavily on video lectures and YouTube videos. Some of these videos have closed captions embedded within them, but some do not. Along with this, there are 2 podcasts required for this course, and there's no transcript available for her to read. Even if you design your course to meet the needs of visually impaired students, you may be completely missing the needs of hearing impaired students. While they may have no problem with your written materials and graphs, they will not be able to take advantage of your audio materials without a written transcript or closed captioning. Some points to remember: videos need to be closed captioned. Podcasts need a written transcript. Jessica manages very well in her powered wheelchair, and even though her hands are permanently in a clenched position, she can operate her modified keyboard for her laptop. However, using the keyboard is still a challenge, so the less clicks that she must make, the better. The category of motor disabilities is broad, and the Office of Disability Resources will address many of the accommodations for this group. Point to remember for this group is to limit the number of clicks needed to get to a destination. As I stated, these disabilities will be looked into more in depth through the modules throughout this course. This is just an overview of things that your students may experience. If you have any questions about this or anything else related to e-learning, please feel free to fill out a help desk ticket and we'd be happy to help you. Have a great day.